Yay! Hi! Okay, we'll get started here in a couple of moments, guys. So as you might know, my computer is kind of on its last life. So I've had a little bit of trouble recording. I know that the quality of the most recent video I did, this sculpt, was terrible. I got a lot of feedback saying it was super choppy. So in preparation for today, I already recorded this class. So if worse comes to worse and the live version becomes too choppy and just like terrible connection, then I'll cut it and I'll just immediately upload the same class that I already recorded. I'll upload it onto YouTube. So don't worry, one way or another, you will be getting this yoga class. So it's been learning a lot about technology the past few days for me, and it certainly hasn't been a lot of fun, but I'll get there. I'll figure it out. Are you ready, Max, for yoga? The flow that we're going to be doing today is, in my mind, it feels a lot different than the type of flow I normally teach. Once you guys take it, you're welcome to give me feedback and let me know if it feels the same or if it feels different. But it's a lot less linear, and I think just maybe my intention for today is to make those transitions really seamless. So you're truly flowing. Once we get into the main flow, just like breath to movement. And as always, I'm just offering options. You can always take these poses and add on where you want to add on, or take away where you want to take away. But you'll notice that one side just kind of leads into another. There's almost no vinyasas throughout the entire class, just through our warm-up sun salutations. So again, just a little bit different. And I encourage you to lean into it. I think everyone is kind of going through a different time right now. So maybe this is just a little bit of a reflection of what we're all experiencing. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start standing today. Go ahead and make your way onto your mats. We'll start with feet about hip width distance. And before I forget, I'll try music. I haven't had very much luck with it, but I'll give it a try. All right, so making your way to standing, bringing your feet hip width distance, heels behind toes. You can blink your eyes closed and just bring some forward and backward movement in here. So rolling into the balls of your feet and then rolling back into the heels. Just feeling your feet connect to your mats. Feeling the weight moving forward and then shifting back. And then coming back to what feels like center for you, weight evenly distributed. Take a big breath in, shrug your shoulders up near your ears. And then big breath out, press your shoulders down and away. Inhale, shrug shoulders up near ears. Exhale, press shoulders down and away. Last one, inhale, shrug shoulders. Exhale, press shoulders down and away. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center at Namaskar. Your eyes aren't closed already, go ahead and blink them shut. Just taking a moment here. A few breaths in stillness, starting to turn your focus, your awareness inward. Then finding acceptance for how you've arrived on your mat today, finding acceptance for your practice. And if you'd like to set an intention for your class, you're more than welcome to do so. My intention for you today, again, is to just move and breathe freely as you need to. And when you're ready, gently blink the eyes open. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Take your right fingertips around your left wrist, turn your left palm forward. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, side bend over to the right. So create space for the left side of your body. Shift your weight into your heels. Keep your chin off of your chest. Inhale, come through center. Switch the grip, left fingertips around right wrist. Big breath in, and on your exhale, side bend over to the left. Create space through the right side of your body. Use your grip of your fingertips around your wrist to deepen the stretch. Inhale, come through center. Release the grip. Exhale, bending your knees as much as you need to. Fold forward over your legs. Hinge from your hips. You can heel toe your feet a little bit wider than hip width distance. But bend your knees a lot and move into ragdoll. So connect your belly and your thighs. Reach for opposite elbows. And then let your head hang heavy. You can always place your hands onto the back of your head or wrap your arms around your legs. You can bring in a little bit of movement here, rocking forward and back or moving side to side. Come back to center, release your hands down. Inhale to a halfway lift. So maybe palms come to shins or palms come to thighs. Back is nice and flat, shoulders press away from ears. Back of the neck stays long, crown of the head reaches forward and weight shifts forward. Exhale, fold over your legs, Uttanasana, shift the gaze to your shins, bend your knees as much as you need to. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up overhead, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center, Namaskar. Inhale, look up, reach up. Right fingertips around left wrist. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Moving through that same flow 2 more times. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold forward over your legs, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, circle sweep, arms up, take up space. Exhale, hands to heart center, Namaskar. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, side bend over to the right. Keep your hips and your shoulders square toward the front edge of your mat. Inhale through center, switch the grip. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Lower belly pulls up and navel to spine. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, release the grip. Hinge from your hips, fold over your legs. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Weight shifts forward. Exhale, folds. Adding on here, plant your palms. Make your way to a high plank position. First high plank of class. Not many today. Step your shoulders over your wrists. Arms are straight and strong. Fingers spread wide. Pressing into the center of the palms. Lift in that space between the shoulder blades. Press your shoulders away from your ears. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Core is strong, legs are active, heels reach toward the back of your mat while the crown of your head reaches forward. Inhale, shift forward onto the tips of your toes. Always okay to lower your knees down to the mat, but on your exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Space through the front side of your body, shoulders away from your ears. Maybe lift your chin, lift your gaze. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Make your way to your first downward facing dog. Pedal through the heels here, bending the knees, moving the hips from side to side. And then you can keep that same pedaling motion. Start to walk your feet toward the top of your mats. Big toes touch. Fold forward over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center, namaskar. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, weight shifts forward. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way, your choice. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Reset here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Look to the top of your mat, hop or step your feet forward, big toes touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant the palms. Hop or step it back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips, down dog. Go ahead and move through 2 more sun A's with your own breath on your own time. Starting to build a little bit of heat here. And like I said, these are the last chaturangas, last high planks for the rest of class. So feel free to do more to add on if you feel like you need that extra heat. When you're ready, we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Leading in downward facing dog, spreading the fingers wide. Always okay to bend your knees as much as you need to. Lifting your hips, your sits bones up to the ceiling. Go ahead and on your next inhale, lift up onto the balls of your feet. Slowly start to ripple forward, lowering your knees under your hips and walking your wrists under your shoulders. So we're in a tabletop position. Start to extend your left toes toward the back of your mat and walk your right fingertips forward. So we're moving into a tabletop extension. When you're ready, inhale, float your right arm, float your left leg off the mat. So try to keep your 2 hips, your 2 shoulders in one line. Turn your right thumb up to the ceiling. Try to lift your left heel in line with your left hip, flexing the toes back toward the face. Take a big breath in, reach your fingertips forward, and on your exhale, pull knee to elbow, low belly up and in, work to connect the knee and the elbow. Inhale, lengthen, reach away. Exhale, pull knee to elbow. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your right palm under your right shoulder. Keep your left toes floating off the mat. Keep your fingers spread wide. Start to hug your navel to your spine. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, lift, 3-legged downward facing dog. Press the mat away through your palms. Square your hips down to the mat. So dial your left hip down in line with your right. Your right knee might be bent. Your right heel may or may not connect to the mat. That's okay. Work to straighten the left leg. Take a big breath in, lift the left heel. And on your exhale, pull your left knee to your right elbow. So your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Press through the center of your palms. Drop your hips in line with your shoulders. Squeeze your heel to your hip. Inhale, 3-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step your left foot between your hands. Drop your right knee. Untuck your right toes. Inhale, rise up. Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Left knee, left toes, point forward toward the top of your mat. And instead of sinking into that low back, can you lift, using your core strength, lift through the center of your chest and create space through the sides of your body. Take an inhale here. And on your exhale, move into runner's lunge, half split. So you can bring your hands to frame your left foot if you like. For today, I'm sweeping my arms toward the back of the mat. Palms face down, fingertips reaching back, shoulders pressing away from ears. Also for today, I'm keeping a flat back. So instead of rounding through the spine, tucking my chin into my chest, chin stays off the chest, center of the chest reaches forward, and my hips reach toward the back of the mat. Flex the left toes back toward your face. Inhale, come back to your low crescent lunge. Arms sweep up to frame the ears. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, lift, high crescent lunge. Hips and shoulders square toward the front of your mat. Keeping your core strong, take a big breath in. On your exhale, airplane arms. Start to lean your way forward into your left foot, and then slowly float your right toes off the mat. So you always have options here. If you don't feel like balancing on one foot, you can release your hands down to the mat for a little bit of extra support, or you can bring your hands to heart center. Try to straighten out your right leg. Lift your right heel in line with your right hip. And again, flex the toes back toward the face. It's going to help you balance. Take one more inhale wherever you're at. And on your exhale, bending both knees, bring big toes to touch at the top of your mat. Right foot meets left. Inhale, rise up. Utkatasana chair pose. I promised no high planks, but I did not promise no chair poses. Shift your weight into your heels. Squeeze your inner ankles, inner knees, inner thighs. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, twist. So work to keep your heart above your hips. Keep this squeeze with the inner knees, the inner thighs. Lift your heart to your thumbs. Take one more inhale here to broaden and to expand. And on your exhale, maybe you're able to drop your hips just a little bit lower. On your next inhale, make your way to standing, Urdhva Hastasana. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Lifting through the center of your chest, lift your chin, lift your gaze. On your exhale, reverse swan dive. Arms separate, lead with your heart, fold forward over your legs. Releasing your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Turn your foot so that the pinky side edge of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. We're moving into skater pose, so inhaling to prepare, and then on your exhale, hands can stay on the mat for support, opening your hips to the left side of your mat, straighten your right toes, flex the right toes back toward your face, and bend your left knee. So you're keeping your hips lifted on this one. It's almost like a side lunge, except the right foot is lifted, and the sole of the foot is facing toward the top of the mat. So you can stay here, hands on the mat. You can bring hands to heart center, or you can sweep your arms toward the back of the mat. Keep your core strong here. Bend your left knee, left toes tracking in the same direction. On your next inhale, pivot forward. Make your way to a high crescent lunge toward the top of your mat. Right knee, right toes tracking toward the top of your mat. Press off of your left toes, stack your shoulders over your hips. Now you can stay here if you want to create a little bit more space through the front side of the body. Cactus the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, move into a back bend. Inhale, uncurl the spine. Exhale, release your hands to frame your right foot. Plant the palms, lower your left knee down to the mat, and sweep your right foot back. So here we are, set up to move through the same sequence on the other side. Extend your left fingertips forward. When you're ready, inhale, left arm floats. Turn your left thumb up to the ceiling. 2 hips, 2 shoulders in one line, back of the neck long. Notice if your belly is hammocking, if your spine, or if your belly is dropping, if your spine is hammocking. Try to keep a nice flat back, core strong, back strong. Big inhale, lengthen here. Exhale, elbow to knee, round through the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Last one, press into right palm, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Keep your right leg lifted. Release left palm down to the mat. Tuck your left toes. Zip the low belly up and in. Inhale, press up. 3-legged downward facing dog. Square your hips to the mat. Again, your left knee might be bent. Your left heel may or may not connect with the mat. Think about spiraling your right inner thigh up to the ceiling. Take an inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, pull the leg across your body, hug right elbow to left knee. Shoulders stacked over wrists, hips drop in line with shoulders. Back of the neck stays long. Inhale, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step your right foot between your hands. Left knee drops, left toes untuck. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. So pressing your hips forward, but keeping that lift through the chest. Max is interested. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Take a big inhale here, and on your exhale, moving into runner's lunge, half splits. Okay, you can bring your hands to frame either side of your right leg for support. But for today, I'm reaching my fingertips toward the back of the mat. Nice flat back, low belly up and in, folding forward over my right leg. Inhale, come back to your low crescent lunge. Arms frame ears, tuck your left toes, zip the low belly up and in. Inhale, press up, one piece, high crescent lunge. Take a big breath in, and on your exhale, airplane arms. Lean your weight forward, lean your chest forward, ground into your right leg, and shift forward into your variation of warrior three. So again, hands can come down here, hands can come to heart center, or you can airplane arms reaching fingertips toward the back of the mat. Take the bend out of your left knee. Always okay to have a bend in this standing leg, and sometimes that helps to get the alignment with the hips. So you really want two hips in one line. Wherever you are, one more inhale. On your exhale, bend both knees. Left toes meet right at the top of the mat. Inhale to Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands come to heart center. Sink the weight into the heels, lower your hips. Inhale, reach the heart forward. Exhale, twist. Anchor your right elbow to the outside edge of your left thigh. You can take a quick peek at the knees. Make sure that they're in one line. If one is in front of the other, that's usually a good indication that your hips are doing the same thing. One more round of breath here. Shifting the weight back, lifting your heart to your thumbs. Inhale, release, Urdhva Hastasana. Straight arms, straight legs, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale, reverse swan dive, lead with the heart, fold forward over the legs. Release your hands down to the mat. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. So again, turn the edge of your foot so the back edge of your foot is parallel to the back of your mat. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, make your way to skater's pose. Straight left leg, flex the left toes back toward the face. Right knee, right toes tracking in the same direction. My hips are open to the right side of the mat. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Pivot forward onto the ball of the right foot. Shoulders stack over hips. Again, stay here or adding the back bend. Cactus the arms, big breath in. Exhale into your back bend. Inhale, uncurl. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Release your right knee down to the mat. Sweep your left leg back. Keep your left leg lifted here. Moving straight into the second time through our flow, starting with the left side. Reach your right arm forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Just one tabletop extension this time. Release your right palm down. Tuck your right toes. Inhale, lift, three-legged downward facing dog. One breath in here, lifting left heel. Exhale, pull left knee toward right elbow. Hips in line with shoulders, core stay strong. Inhale, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, step left foot between the hands, release right knee down. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, runner's lunge, half splits. Ardha Hamanasana. Inhale, pass back through your low lunge, tucking your right toes. Inhale, lift, high crescent lunge, shoulders over hips. Exhale, airplane arms. Ground into your left foot, float your right toes off the mat. Variation of warrior three. One more inhale here, lengthening. Exhale, bend both knees, right toes meet left. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, reverse swan dive or diver's pose. Hands separate, leading with the heart, lifting up onto the balls of the feet, so hovering the heels off the mat, squeezing inner knees, inner thighs, using your core strength as you hinge from the hips to fold over the legs. Release your hands down. Lower the heels if you were diver's pose. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Setting up for skaters, inhale to prepare. Exhale, sweep your arms back, straighten your right leg. Inhale, high crescent, pivot toward the top of your mat. Stay here or exhale, open, moving into your back bend. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, release hands to frame right foot. Lower your left knee down. Sweep your right leg back. Moving right into second side. Left arm lifts forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release left palm down. Fingers spread wide, left toes tuck, low belly pulls up and in. Inhale, lift, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow, hips in line with shoulders, core stay strong. Inhale, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, right foot steps between the hands, left knee drops, left toes untuck. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Big breath in. Exhale, runner's lunge, half splits. Folding forward, flat back over right leg. Inhale, pass through your low lunge, tuck your left toes. Inhale, lift, high crescent lunge, arms frame ears. Exhale, airplane arms. Ground into your right leg. Move as slow as you need to as you hinge from your hips. Variation of warrior three. One more inhale here. Exhale, big toes meet at the top of your mat. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, big breath in. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Weight into the heels, drop the hips, lift your heart to your thumbs. Inhale, release, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, or diver's pose. Arms separate, leading with the heart, hinging from the hips, maybe balancing onto the balls of the feet. Heels hover, squeeze inner knees, squeeze inner thighs. And release, hands down. Setting up for skater's pose, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, skaters. Inhale, pivot to the top of your mat. High crescent lunge, shoulders over hips. Stay here or add the back bend, cactusing arms, squeezing shoulder blades together down the back, pressing off of your right toes, hugging your left knee toward your midline. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, release your hands to frame your left foot. Release your right knee down to the mat. Sweep your left leg back. Moving through our flow one last time, each side. Inhale, right arm lifts and lengthens. Exhale, knee to elbow, low belly hugs up and in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release, right palm down. Tuck your right toes, hug navel to spine. Inhale, lift, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, lift, three-legged downward facing dog. Exhale, left foot steps between the hands, right knee drops, right toes untucked. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, runner's lunge, half splits. Inhale, pass through your low lunge, tuck right toes. Inhale, press up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane arms, lean the weight forward, lean your chest forward, float right toes off the mat. Woo. One more inhale here. Exhale, big toes meet at the top of your mat. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, move right into your twist. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, reverse swan dive, or diver's pose, your choice. Lead with your heart. Releasing your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back, setting up for skaters. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, skaters pose. Inhale, pivot, high crescent lunge. Stay here, adding your back bend. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, release hands down, frame right foot. Release your left knee down to the mat. Sweep your right leg back. Last side, last flow, right leg lifts. Left arm lifts on an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release left palm down. Tuck your left toes, low belly up and in. Inhale, three-legged downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right heel. Exhale, pull right knee to left elbow. Downward facing dog. Exhale, right foot steps between the hands. Left knee drops, left toes on top. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Exhale, runner's lunge. Half splits, flex right toes back toward the face. Inhale, passing through your low lunge. Tuck your left toes, inhale, lift, high crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane the arms. Lean your chest forward, lean the weight forward, float left toes off the mat. One more inhale here. Exhale, big toes meet at the top of your mat. Inhale, last Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, right into your twist. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, swan dive, diver's pose, whichever you like. Hug the navel to the spine, use your core strength, reaching full forward. And release the hands down, lower the heels if you were in divers. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, pivoting right foot, setting up for skaters, inhale, lengthen, exhale, skaters pose. Inhale, pivot forward, high crescent lunge. Adding the back bend if you like. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, release your hands to frame your left foot. Lower your right knee down to your mat. Sweep your left leg back. So pausing here. Tuck your left knee behind your right so your legs are crossed. So that they line up with the midline of the body. Can keep your wrists under your shoulders here just to start. Let's move through a few cat-cows. So inhale, belly drops, chin lifts, hips lift. Exhale, round. Last one, inhale, belly drops. And exhale, round. Coming back to a neutral spine. Bump your heels away from your hips and then start to walk your hands back toward your knees. Start to sit your hips between your heels. Now, if you know your hips, your knees are tight, you absolutely do not have to go into this pose this way. You can also grab a pillow, a block, a blanket, anything you can find to sit beneath your hips to elevate your hips above your knees to make this pose a little accessible. Also, another option, you can straighten out your bottom leg. So it's going to be a little bit less intense, especially if you have tight knees, tight hips. Definitely don't want any pain or discomfort in either of those places in your body. So working to anchor sits bones into the mat or onto your block, and then working to stack your knees so that they're laying on top of each other, moving in that direction anyways. And if you're there and you're still not feeling anything, then you can walk your heels away from your hips and then start to flex your toes back towards your knees. Lift through the center of your chest, stack your shoulders over your hips, and just close your eyes here for a moment. Notice how this feels in the body. Then let's add in some movement here. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, lean over to the right. So maybe you're planting your right palm or your right forearm. Shoulders are stacked, rib cage is stacked, and left fingertips reach up and over. Inhale through center, switching sides. Plant your left palm or your left elbow, reach your right arm up and over. Notice if your right hip is lifting off the mat, try to press it back down. Inhale, come through center. And as you exhale, fold forward over your legs. So round through the spine, and it might not really be a forward fold, it might be more of a forward lean. It's okay, it's a good place to start. Bringing your chin to your chest. Maybe you're able to connect your nose to your forehead. Or excuse me, your nose or your forehead to your knee. And gently uncurl the spine, coming back to center. Lean back, and then straighten your right leg out in front of you. So I'll give you two options today. With your right leg out in front of you, you can keep the sole of your left foot connected to the inside of your right thigh, keeping this external rotation with the left hip. If you like, just for a different variation today, you're welcome to internally rotate the left hip, keeping the left heel next to the left hip. It's just a different variation. Again, be really gentle with the knees, gentle with the hips. This might feel really uncomfortable on your leg, so you're welcome to stick with this first variation. Even if this feels like too much, you can bring the sole of your left foot to the mat, and then left knee, left toes tracking in the same direction with your knee pointed straight up to the ceiling. So any of those variations are great places to be. Straighten your right leg, square your chest over your right leg, take an inhale to prepare, and on your exhale, fold forward over the right leg. Work to drop your left shoulder in line with your right, so you're keeping your chest square over the leg the whole time, and then active flex in the toes back toward the face. On your next inhale, gently uncurl and lift. You're welcome to stay in that forward fold. If you'd like to add a twist, whether the sole of your foot is connected to the inside of your right thigh, or you opted for the internal rotation, you're going to bring your right hand to your left knee and reach your left arm up and over. So maybe you're able to connect to your toes. Maybe you're here and you're using that connection between your palm and your knee to help open your chest to the left side of your mat. So keep your chin off your chest. You should feel this through the left side of your body. Both hips stay connected to the mat the whole time. Slow, easy inhales, slow, easy exhales through the nose. And then gently release, uncurl, come back to center. And then any way that feels natural to you, we're going to meet in a tabletop. So if that means leaning back or rolling forward, either way, meeting in a tabletop, and then taking any movement that feels good. So you can extend opposite legs or take circles through the knee. Sometimes downward facing dog feels really nice after this. So you can lift the hips to sits bones, reaching your heels toward the mat behind you. And then meeting back in a tabletop when you're ready. This time extending right leg behind you, tucking the right leg behind the left so the legs are crossed. You can move the knees if you like to so that they line up with the midline of the body, and then keeping the wrists under the shoulders. We're going to move through a few cat-cow. So inhale, belly drops, chin lifts. Exhale, round. Squeeze the inner thighs together. So you probably feel this a little bit more through the outside edges of your hips. Last time, inhale, belly drops. Exhale, round. Inhale, come back to a neutral spine, flat back. Bump your heels away from your hips, and then again, start to walk your hands back toward your knees to sit your hips between your heels. Again, if that doesn't feel natural for you, or if it does not feel good on the hips or the knees, you're welcome to straighten the legs, come to a seated position, and then stack your left leg over your right. Grab your block or blanket or whatever you have handy if you need to elevate your hips above your knees. Again, you're working to anchor your sits bones to the mat, and then stack your knees on top of each other. It's okay if your knees aren't even close to touching. That means you probably have normal hips. Then stacking your shoulders over your hips. Again, if you're looking for more, you're working your heels away from your hips and keeping that really active flex in the toes back toward the knees. And then just as we begin, or as we settle into this pose, close your eyes. Make sure you're still breathing, okay? If your breath is catching, you've probably gone too far and you need to either elevate your hips a little bit more or straighten out that bottom right leg. And then adding in some movement here, inhale, arms reach up. This time on your exhale, leaning over to the left, so planting the left palm or the left elbow, reach your right fingertips up and over, shoulders are stacked, ribcage is stacked, chin stays off the chest. Press your right leg to the mat and then press your left leg into your right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, side bend over to the right, planting your right elbow or just your right palm. Hips stay anchored to the mat, chin stays off the chest, lengthening through the left side of the body. Inhale, come through center, and on your exhale, fold forward over your legs. Again, rounding through the spine. Think cat spine here, chin to chest. And gently uncurl the spine, come back to center, leaning back. Straighten your left leg out to the front left corner of the mat. So again, two options. You can keep this sole, I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit here. So you can keep this sole of your right foot connected to the inside of your left thigh here, or you have that other option to internally rotate the right hip, keeping your heel next to your hip. And this is just another option for a different variation of this stretch. If neither of those feel very good or they feel like too much, then sole of the right foot comes down to the mat, right knee, right toes track in the same direction, and the right knee points up to the ceiling. So whichever variation you're moving into today, square your chest over your left leg and then start to fold forward. Keep that active flex in the left toes back toward the face and drop your right shoulder in line with your left. Gently release. Moving into your twist, you're bringing your left hand to your right knee, either variation with the right leg. And then starting to open your chest, reach your right arm up and over. Again, maybe you're able to connect to your toes, maybe not. Lengthening through the right side of the body, keep your hips pressing to the mat and use that connection of your left palm to your right knee to deepen your to deepen your twist, opening your chest toward the right side of your mat. And gently release. Meeting back in tabletop or downward facing dog, your choice. Taking whatever movement you need there. And then in any way that feels natural to you, we're gonna make our way onto our backs. So give me just a second here. I'm gonna close the blinds. So go ahead and make your way onto your back and let's meet in happy baby. So bend your knees, reach for the outside edges of your feet. Stack your ankles over your knees. And you always have the option in happy baby to add in a little bit of movement, rocking from side to side if that feels good. Or if you prefer to hold in stillness, you're using your connection of your hands on your feet to gently pull your knees closer to the ground. Press your shoulders, the middle of your back, and your hips into the mat. And then moving into reclined bound angle, Baddha. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Keep the grip of your hands on your feet, knees stay wide, and then pull your heels down to your hips. Again, notice if your hips start to lift, press them back down so that your entire back eventually is flat on the mat. And releasing the grip on your legs. Draw your knees together, straighten your legs up to the ceiling for dead bug. Then point and flex the toes, bending and straightening the legs. And then keeping the knees bent, let's move into a reclined twist. So let your legs drop over to the left side of your mat. Stack your right hip on top of your right knee on top of your left knee. Working to make a 90-degree angle with your hips, your knees, your ankles, but keeping the top of your back flat. So right shoulder presses into the mat. Belly and chest are relaxed. If it feels okay in the neck, you're shifting the gaze over the right shoulder. It's okay if your legs don't touch the ground. It's okay if they don't touch each other. Just moving in that direction. You can always grab a block or a pillow between the knees or under the knees to make this pose more accessible. Gently draw your knees through center and then let your legs fall over to the right side of your mat. Stack your left hip on top of your right, stack your left knee on top of your right knee. Top of the back stays flat, left shoulder connects to the mat. Maybe you're able to shift the gaze over the left shoulder. Relaxing the belly, relaxing the chest, working to push out any remaining tension in your spine. And gently pulling the legs to center, squeezing the knees together, squeezing the legs into the chest, reaching for opposite wrists or opposite elbows. Lift your forehead to your nose to your knees. Last bit of compression here, squeezing everything into your midline. Big breath in. And on your exhale, release your way to your final Savasana. Your final Savasana can be any physical position that feels restful to you. You're always welcome to grab pillows or blocks behind the knees or behind the back of your head. Close your eyes and give yourself permission to rest. And you're always welcome to stay in your Savasana as long as you like, as long as you need. There's never any rush to get up. When you are ready to move, just take your time, bring gentle movements back into the body first, and then always rolling to one side and coming to a seat before moving off of your mat. Even if you're still in Savasana, I'm just going to end in gratitude. Thank you guys so much for sharing your practice, for sharing your energy. Have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week. Namaste.